Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this June live catch up. I am going to be looking all over the screen for this because I have multiple screens up and I'm shooting through my camera this time, which is really cool because it's a little better quality and hopefully the microphone will be okay as well. I'm going to pull up comments on here. I'm also streaming through a different service today through StreamYard, and it's fairly user-friendly, which is good. But I just wanted to welcome you all to this live catch-up. It's great to have you here, and I'm hoping that we can chat all things gardening, what we've been up to this week, and I've also got a little special announcement later in the live that I'll share that I am so excited for. We've been working on it for quite a few months now and I am ready to share with everyone. So I'm super excited for that. I can see a few people joining the live now. So let me know where you're coming from, who you are. I don't know what you've been up to in the garden. But before I kind of start this live, I wanted to do an acknowledgement to traditional owners. So I wanted to pay my respects to the peoples of the Yuin Nation and pay respects to traditional owners, past, present, and emerging, and also extend that acknowledgement to any traditional owners overseas who are watching now or watching this replay today. So I can see hi, Josh in your yard homestead. I'm still getting used to this little streaming software, but I can now see your comments, which is really cool. I am inside today and I would have loved to be streaming outside in the garden, and maybe one day I'll get my setup so that I can do that, but I needed better internet today. So that's why I'm inside in my office where I do some of the videos. So yeah, maybe one day we can go outside. But yeah, I'd love to know where you're all coming from, where you're watching from. I am here on the south coast of New South Wales. It's a gorgeous day today, actually. It's really nice. There's a little bit of a breeze and blue sky and just a few clouds, which is nice. I haven't been able to get out into the garden too much today because we were out and about. We went to the markets this morning, which was really nice, and grabbed a coffee from our favourite bakery and some other bakery items, which was really nice. And it's kind of how I like to start my weekends, just really nice and chill. And then I think tomorrow I will get out into the garden and do some more filming for you all. Tomorrow's video that I have planned, I actually need to head out there and finish filming and editing it this afternoon, but it is probably one of the most exciting videos that I have put together for a while, because it's our new business venture that we're going to be going on, both Scott and I, and also it's going to be kind of a part of the nature patch, and I'm going to be documenting it all on YouTube for you all. So Josh says that it's cold here and finally getting some good rain in Western Australia. I am so glad, because I have been wanting to send all of the rain that we have had over here in New South Wales way over to Western Australia, because holy moly, the amount of rain that we have had here, we're still dealing with the effects of it. The ground in a lot of the areas in the garden is still so soggy, and it's just, unworkable at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to a little bit more dry weather. Hi Liz from Central Victoria and Kerry. It's nice to see you all. I hope you are having a good start to your weekend. Let me know what you've been up to in the garden, and then everyone who's watching this replay, I would love to know as well. Just want to say again, and I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I will probably be looking down a little bit and then up to my camera to be able to read the comments and actually chat to you all. But today, as I said, we went to the market and we also went to Bunnings to pick up a few things. We have pretty much filled up our compost bin, and I have been looking for a compost bin on Facebook Marketplace, which is the best place to get them, but it seems like they're in real high demand around here. So I just wanted to pick another one up from Bunnings, and I think I have a little bit of a problem in that I can't go to anywhere with plants without coming out with plants. But I managed to pick up two Australian Christmas bushes. They're native Australian plants, and they have the most gorgeous red and green foliage and beautiful flowers as well. They grow to about 3 to 5 meters, and I'm excited to plant them out into the garden. They're also going to help with something that I'll talk about later on. Just catching up on some of these comments. Kerry just got back from Bunnings. I feel like we can relate there. A lot of us can definitely relate to Bunnings trips on a Saturday morning. Same with Josh. Liz just about to head outside and do some pruning of fruit trees. Awesome. Let me know what type of fruit trees you have in the ground right now. And Central Victoria, winter's definitely a great time to be getting bare-rooted fruit trees in the ground. I'd really like to plant some berries. I have a list of berries that I would love to get into the garden that I know grow really well here, because it's one of my favorite childhood memories is coming to this house here, which used to be my Ulma and Upa's house, and they had a massive vegetable garden and a massive berry patch. And I can just remember so many memories of us going down there and picking berries, and I'd really love to recreate that. And yeah, I know that young berries grow really well here, and raspberries, so I would love to get them in the ground this winter. Hello, Bailey. It is sunshine here for the first time in Adelaide. Awesome. I feel like we're all getting a little bit of sunny weather, which is really nice to see. Yeah, I know. And your pay might go directly to Bunnings. That's exactly what mine does as well a lot of the time. Kerry says, I've got some seeds on the way and just brought a propagation greenhouse for my seedlings. Awesome. I've basically given up trying to plant seeds directly. Seedlings seem to manage much better. I am the exact same. I don't think I've really sown much direct here, mainly because we've got this bandicoot that seems to love to dig everything up in my garden, which is quite annoying, and it just means it's really impossible to direct sow unless I cover it. But then covering things, you run into the risk of forgetting to water them, and I'm definitely a little bit of a lazy gardener, so I like to keep it nice and simple. But yeah, I would love to be able to direct sow. That would make my life a lot easier. It's sunny in Sydney too. That's awesome. So Liz, you have some apples, pear, peach, cherries, nectarines, pomegranates, and citrus. That's amazing. I am envious. I would love to be able to have some fruit trees here. I will talk a little bit about whether we're going to do that or not in this video. Also, you might see some cats roaming around right now. I don't know whether it's like witching hour or something, but our little cat, little boy Rocky, we just took them outside and they go on a supervised walk in the afternoons, but he seems to just be going crazy right now. So we're just going to have to monitor the tripod a little bit. Yeah, Scott's also here and might say hello. There's his hand. We're not experienced live streamers, but I want to make this a little bit interesting for you all, particularly those who are watching this on a replay. So if you do have any questions at all that you would like to ask me, let me know in the comments and I will chat through them throughout this video. Other than that, I'm going to be talking about what I've been up to in the garden this week. And then maybe in about 10-15 minutes, I will reveal our big announcement that I'm super excited to do. But I think these lives are really great to just answer kind of rapid fire questions. And I really like listening to lives just, when I'm in the garden or when I'm in the car. Rocky's off. He's going. So I kind of wanted to make this kind of semi-informative and provide a little bit of information for you, basically. So in terms of what I have been up to this week in the garden, I have had such a stressful week with work, so I haven't really been able to do that much. And I'm so glad that you all really enjoyed my video of like a realistic day in the garden, which did really well on YouTube, which I was really proud of. And, you know, some of my videos do well and others take a little bit of time to get on the algorithm or whatever. But I have recently been seeing a lot of videos do really well, which makes me so happy that you're all enjoying the videos. And I think I would like to do a little bit more videos on realistic gardening, because I am so busy all of the time and I just don't get as much time as I would like in the garden to be able to do things. And, you know, gardens take years to get to where you want them to be. But I do find that doing little things throughout the week and making them more manageable tasks is a really great way to garden and do things. Unless, you know, you've got kids or other commitments or things like that. I totally understand all of that too. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Your internet is really bad. That's okay. I am super thankful that you could join in, and everyone else who is here as well. I mentioned before, if you do have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those here. I've kind of pretty much answered most of the common questions on my last Q&A. But I can answer more here if you would like. Hello, my Aussie garden and kitchen. Hi, it's nice to see you. Let me know where you're coming from and what you've been up to in the garden this week. Yesterday I managed to do one of the jobs I was trying to do. I seem to sow so many more seeds than I should. I feel like everyone does that. But I did manage to plant the rest of my broccoli seedlings that I have. It's still a good time if you're in a non-kind of frost zone to be getting your broccoli and other brassicas in the ground, particularly subtropics. Now is kind of like your last month to get them in the ground before it gets too hot, unless you are in a little bit more of a cooler microclimate. But yeah, I got my broccoli in, which was good because we've been getting such an amazing crop of sprouting broccoli and other, I think it's Decicio broccoli, I think, but the broccoli's been really nice, hasn't it, Scott? It's been good. We've been having a lot of broccoli and pak choi and tatsoi. The garden is filled with it, which is amazing to see because, as you all know, it is ridiculously expensive right now in the supermarket to be buying fresh greens. And it's something that I would probably like to do a little bit more of on the channel, is sharing a little bit more how-to videos or videos on how you might be able to be self-sufficient in a type of plant or something that you regularly like to eat or buy from the supermarket, because I think that information is really valuable right now. And yeah, going to the shop, seeing the ridiculous prices of lettuce is just so funny to me. It's not funny because, you know, horrible things happen to, you know, the farmers and everything. But I do think it is a lesson in that we can definitely learn a little bit more on how to be growing our own foods and switching it up just a little bit to not just be using things like lettuce or relying on certain greens, but growing a variety in the garden so that we always have something growing in our gardens. Just catching up on comments. So Kerry's starting seeds for silver beet and lettuce and collards. Awesome. No, I think you'll be fine with that. Again, as long as you're not getting really hard and heavy frosts. We got a little bit of a frost here the other day, but it was only in really small patches of the garden. It was actually so beautiful. But it is something to just keep in mind if you're getting seedlings in the ground and you're getting frost. Some of the tender seedlings might not like that too much. Yeah, the prices are really crazy, Liz. You saw someone whose shop had beans for $30. Oh, wow. That's insane. Yeah. And it kind of shows those things that are super expensive, what is in season as well. Having a lot of people, you know, rely on things like lettuce, or particularly in our area here, we can grow it all year round, but I know a lot of people can't grow lettuce all year round. So in areas like the subtropics where you can't really grow it in summer, or at least I haven't been able to grow lettuce in the subtropics in summer, there are so many different options for greens that we can be growing and create a little bit more biodiversity in the garden. So Kerry says your garlic's coming along nicely. Same with your carrots, spinach and peas. And your herbs have struggled from seed. I always have trouble starting herbs from seed. Therefore, I just usually go for the route of buying seedlings with herbs. They can be pretty picky often because they need really like set conditions to be able to germinate. And some of them just have a really long germination time. So yeah, I've had mixed success with starting herbs from seeds, but I find because they're so cheap to buy, often it's less work just to buy them from the store and then start them. Cool. Yeah, you struggle in summer too for lettuce, likes to bolt. Yeah, it's a problem growing it, which, you know, I applaud anyone who can grow lettuce all year round. That would be nice. Yeah. Cool. Well, if there's no questions, I think I might move on to a topic that I have been wanting to talk about for a while, but I haven't, because I wasn't sure if we were going to go down this route or not, and whether we wanted to start kind of another business venture with the Nature Patch. If you have any idea of what I might be talking about, let me know in the comments and I'll keep it, you know, I'll drop some hints for a few minutes. There are a few hints around me right now that you might be able to see of something that we're going to be starting in the backyard. It's going to be some sort of farm or farming business, and is something that I have always wanted to do this. Yeah, I was really inspired. I don't know how to talk about this without giving it away, but I am really inspired by my Alma and things that she has grown in the garden and things that I like to bring her to the nursing home. And I have seen a really niche area on YouTube and in person about this farm that we're going to start. So yeah, I can kind of see a few comments that might be on the right track. Josh, you're also saying it's growing lots of food. You're growing lots of food this year. You've teamed up with some friends to grow lots. That is so good. Community is so important with growing food. Yeah, and it's something that you definitely need, because it's impossible to be able to grow everything. So whatever grows well in your area or your microclimate, it's definitely great to share with others and grow different things. So yeah, a few of you are definitely on the right track. And yeah, we are going to be starting a flower farm in the backyard. Yeah, so you pretty much all got it right, because, you know, it's not that hard. But it's something that I am so excited about. I have been watching so much YouTube about flower farming, and I have found that I haven't really seen a lot of YouTube channels. There's a few, but I haven't seen a lot who are starting it from scratch and sharing their whole journey on YouTube. And I have so many questions for so many people, not just for flower farming, but how you start a business that's to do with agriculture or farming. I just have so many questions. And I have been asking quite a lot of people in the area about, you know, what grows well around here, how do you actually start? And a lot of them have, you know, either moved to a really established area where agriculture is really prevalent, or they have inherited something, but not a lot of people are starting operations in their backyard or acreages or wherever they have a little bit more land, and yeah, growing things, whether that be food or flowers. So yeah, I'm glad you're all excited. I am so excited to be starting this and to be sharing with you all. I've actually been addicted to Florette's information And I have a few of her books now that I've been reading. First one is The Cut Flower Garden, which I would really recommend if you are planning on starting a flower farm. And also the book behind there, A Year in Flowers, which is a little bit more how to arrange certain flowers, what colors go well together. But it's based in the US. So some of these plants and flowers that she talks about, they're actually weeds here. So I can't be growing everything. And that's something, I'm going to have to learn what grows well. But I find that the flower market in Australia is quite different to overseas. We do really love that kind of native touch here. So having either native foliage or native flowers in bouquets, I find a lot of people really like that, particularly around my area that I live. Oh, good, Bailey. I'm glad that this is a good book. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful book as well. There's so many gorgeous photos, and it's just like packed with information. And she breaks it down into seasons, which is really great. Like there's different chapters on spring projects, summer, how to prepare for the different seasons, which is also something that I'm learning because in the subtropics, we never really got 4 seasons. We only had the wet and dry periods throughout the year. Down in the south coast of New South Wales, we really do have the 4 seasons, which is so amazing. And yeah, it's I thought that it was actually going to allow me to have a little bit of a rest in the winter months and the off seasons, but that's not the case. It is totally not the case for me right now because I am so busy trying to get all of the beds prepped and do all of the prep work and learn about flowers and buy seeds and all of the things that you have to do about starting a flower farm. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll answer those. But tomorrow I have a video coming out all about our adventure that we're going to go on. It's just a sit down chatty video kind of like this. And then I'm going to be doing weekly vlogs sharing what I've been up to. They're going to be a little bit less edited and a little bit more raw and real than some of my other videos. The one that I just filmed and put together, I literally look like a fluffy penguin because I was wearing so many layers in the morning, just getting the jobs done that I needed to do. But I want to take you on this journey and film it all so that if you are starting something like this, or even if you have an idea of starting a backyard business, I want to be there to help inspire you and encourage you, and we can work together to answer all of those little questions that I know so many people have. It's always been our dream, and I talk about it a little bit, but we've always had a dream, or at least I have, to be able to do something in the backyard that can financially support us, whether that be on a larger scale or a smaller scale. We're homebodies, really. We love being at home. We love just, I like to say we like each other's company, but, I think it's, why are you rolling your eyes? I think it's going to be really interesting and a lot of work, but I am really excited. Cool. I'm glad you're all looking forward to this process. Liz, you'd like to look at selling flowers at the local monthly market and possibly through a couple of small stores here. Yeah, I think that's a great idea because that's another massive topic that, I can talk a little bit about, but local flowers are so hard to find. And this is one of my whys and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, because I was going into the local florist around here and chatting to them, and my budget was around nothing crazy, like $30 for a nice bouquet of flowers that I could take to my Oma, to the nursing home. That was, a nice pretty bunch, and they didn't have anything that was less than $40 because of the prices that it costs them to get all of the flowers sent down from Sydney and Melbourne to the florist here. There are like a few other little small flower farms around me, but I was still just so surprised that no one was selling their flowers to the local florist. It was amazing, and that bumped the price up so much more. So we kind of just got talking, and I was, asking, like, would you buy flowers from local people? Like, what's up? And local florists are so interested in doing that, but there's just no one around really growing them. There's a real demand for local flowers, particularly because so many of those flowers that florists get from Sydney actually come from overseas as well, because there's no regulating about where labeling where flowers come from in Australia. It doesn't have to technically be labeled, which I think is a really big problem, because a food does. For example, you need to know where the food is coming from, and if it comes from overseas, they need stickers on it to say, what country. But that's not the same with flowers, and so many people are buying flowers that I just found that so surprising, really. Thank you, LP. Thank you for the congrats on 5K. Yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm hoping it's going to be beautiful. I'm hoping to make beautiful videos as well once I get all of the flowers growing. So Kathy says, one hint she can give me is to make your flowers with a point of difference. So many natives already around. Go for a different style and you'll pick up lots of business. Thanks for that. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. My kind of target audience that I'm going to be targeting towards is going to be people who want something nice and happy for their holiday homes and for their houses and places like nursing homes and things like that, because we're in a such tourist heavy area that a lot of tourists come here and the markets just get so busy that, yeah, a lot of tourists are looking for flowers to just spruce up their holiday homes, as well as local people around here. But I have a few ideas on how to make things look a little different. And yeah, I agree that there are a lot of native bunches that you can get from the shops that look fairly similar. So I'm going to be playing around with different annuals and natives. And I think that's a big thing, is to mix both natives and, other annual flowers that people might not usually grow in their garden, or they grow but they don't grow them for cut flowers or anything, because I really want to have some kind of connection between someone buying a posy of flowers or a bouquet of flowers, and to have that connection to either like their family or their childhood. So I've already had a few people kind of suggest flowers that they have really fond memories of, and I think that would be beautiful, particularly for the nursing home that I visit a lot, because I talk about in the video tomorrow that when I go to nursing homes, the nursing home with flowers, literally all eyes are on me. Like, I am the most popular person walking throughout the courtyard and walking throughout the different areas of the home. Everyone's looking at me walking by with the flowers, and it seems to light up everyone's day and make people happy. And that's really what I want to strive to do with the flowers, is make people happy. So Kathy says the flower market is saturated down in Victoria with natives. Now people are looking for different styles. And that's really interesting. I am taking a lot of information from people down in Victoria about how to grow and have flower farms, because it's definitely not saturated in South Coast of New South Wales. I think because we have like a little bit more of an older population around here, other than the younger tourists that come down. So I don't think a lot of people are too interested in doing flower farming. A lot of people just come to the area as tourists or visiting. So we're also not in a very agricultural area too. Again, we're very tourist focused, but north and south of us, there are a few farms that hopefully I can actually go and visit and make some videos on. So Josh, Kathy, do I watch Serena and Ian? I do. I love You Can't Eat the Grass, and they're one of the channels that inspired me to start this journey, because I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is because they're just such a real and raw family that they share their whole journey and the ups and downs. And that's what I really appreciate in videos, and something that I definitely want to do as well. I'm definitely not going to be doing it on the scale that they have, or be doing this full time as well. I'm working full time, so this is going to be interesting. I am interested in how I'm going to manage it all, but I'm going to have Scott to help. Is that right? I guess so. Yeah, we're going to manage it, but I definitely find a lot of inspiration from You Can't Eat the Grass and a lot of others that I will mention in tomorrow's video, or have a list of them in the description box. Josh asks, are you going to have roses? I'm not going to have roses at the start, mainly because I'm not going to be focusing too much on perennial plants. And that is because we don't actually know how long we're going to be staying here. So roses usually take a few years to get well established. And I would love to be able to grow roses at some point, and I probably will plant a few, but in terms of adding them to bouquets, I'm probably not going to add them. What I am going to be doing though is growing perennials for foliage and adding foliage in from native plants. So I have quite a lot of thryptomene planted, which is a really common native in bouquets, as well as woolly bush, which looks really, really cool. I also bought some of the Christmas bushes today, which is going to look really, really pretty, I think, particularly around the autumn months with that foliage. Yeah, but I do have a list of flowers. I also have my flower mug cup of tea. So make sure you're all drinking your cups of tea in the afternoon / night if you're watching this on the replay, or morning, or whenever. Let me bring up my list of flowers that I have. One thing I've been trying to do is documenting everything in a notebook, because I am notorious for just doing things and then forgetting about it, particularly sowing seeds, and then forgetting what I've actually done. So things I'm going to be focusing on for the first year, this is just also for the next 6 months, I'm just going to be focusing on learning how to do things. So prepping the beds, learning how to grow. I'm not expecting to go to a market or have lots of flowers to sell, next month or anything. But this is what I have planted so far. I've planted a lot of statice, which I think is a really great flower for drying flowers. I've also planted a lot of billy buttons, straw flowers, lots of snapdragons, and these ones I'm fairly comfortable with growing. Some things that I have never grown before is sea holly, or I think it's called Eryngium. I'm going to try growing lupins, but it might be a little bit too warm here. I'm not too sure. Definitely a lot of yarrow. I've planted zinnias, although it's a little bit cool for them right now, although I do still have some flowering, but I'm going to start a bunch of those towards the end of winter, early spring. Planted a lot of feverfew, and I'm also going to be growing a lot of basil, cosmos, dahlias, I never know how to say it. I've never grown those before except from seed, and I would love to be able to try and grow those. So that seems like a lot, doesn't it? It seems like I'm going a little bit crazy on planting seeds and flowers, but it's the trial. I'm going to trial and see what grows well. Hello, Sean. Nice to see you here. We're talking about flower farming, and that I'm starting a flower farm in the backyard, which is our big announcement that we are going to be we have already started for the past few months, really. So if you have any questions about that, I would love to know. Kathy says, you've got so many seeds to plant in your new garden. Yeah, I am super excited to catch up on some of your videos and have a look at your new garden and your new place. I'm so excited for you that you've got, a lovely new space to work with. I always love seeing, from start to finish what people do with their properties and pieces of land, because yeah, it's just so inspiring. And one day I really hope to be able to own our own piece of land and do the same kinds of things. Yeah, flower seeds are very, very easy to get addicted to because, I mean, the marketing, you have to basically do no marketing for flower seeds because you just have a photo of the flower. And that's so beautiful in itself that it's just super easy to buy them rather than actually understanding all of the time and the effort that goes into planting the seeds and raising them and potting them up. Seed starting, I knew it was going to be overwhelming, but it's very overwhelming how many seeds that I have started. You're a seed addict too, Josh. Yeah, I feel you. I definitely am. I'm looking at a massive tub of seeds that I have that I need to sort out right now. Yeah, but I don't think you could ever have enough. I think, if you've got the options, why not? Liz says, yeah, it's usually vegetables, all heirloom, a crazy amount of chili and tomato seeds. Yeah, I find they're also quite easy to collect because, again, the photos of them look so pretty, and you can imagine it really, really well when you buy those kinds of seeds. Yeah, you love the idea of bouquets that appeal to multiple senses. Yeah, blue spice basil has an amazing smell. I will have to have a look at that. I did used to grow, I got some cuttings from a few people, and I think it was actually blue spice basil at the last house we were living at, and it was one of the most beautiful basils that I've seen and smells really nice, and it's really nice to add to bouquets. Because it looks really pretty and it provides, that little bit of wispiness in a posy or a bouquet of flowers, but it also really smells well. Because something that I'm learning that a lot of flowers actually don't smell very nice at all. So masking that scent with really nice foliage, whether that be lemony, native scented foliage or basil, is a really good idea to mask the smell of certain flowers. Did someone say seeds? Yeah. I feel like, after this, I'm going to have to keep going looking at seeds to buy because my list is growing. And books like Florette's book, just they don't help with my seed addiction. Yeah. So if you have any other questions that you would like to ask, I know I'm saying that a lot, but sometimes I don't really know what to chat about on these lives, but I suppose I can let you all know what it's going to look like on YouTube and the next steps for the nature patch. Again, yeah, I'm going to be doing extra videos. Hopefully, if I can get them all filmed and edited. Scott, he's amazing. You're amazing at helping to edit my videos. Really does help me out so much. So we're going to be doing a flower farm Fridays is the plan, where I'll be publishing a vlog hopefully every Friday, maybe a few more here and there about everything that we're doing flower farm wise, because I'm also going to be keeping on doing all of the videos about gardening, connecting to nature, and growing food, because yeah, as I say in my video tomorrow, I am never going to stop growing food. It's something that I love to do and I think is just so important. So I have different areas of the garden that we'll be doing the flower farm on, but I have a little permaculture zone 1 cottage garden that is always going to have food in it, because I really don't think you can beat homegrown fruits and vegetables. They just taste delicious. And it's going to be interesting to add the flower farm business on, because I'm also a really frugal person that I also talk about in tomorrow's video. And business-wise, that doesn't always work, because you really do need to be able to spend money to make money. And that's something that I'm learning how to do that, because usually I don't want to spend money, but for this I am having to, buying, like more seeds than I usually would for the garden, materials, like I had to buy some more black plastic today to be able to kill off grass, because I can't just be, I don't have enough cardboard to just cover the whole entire lawn. As much as that would be cool, but it's just not feasible. So I'm having to change a little bit what I'm doing in the garden. But yeah, look out for Friday videos. I'm really behind on comments here. Yeah, Josh, I agree. I agree. Seeds are very precious. Kathy says, do you watch Sunshine and Flora? I don't. Are they Australian based or US based? I haven't heard of them, but I'm making a mental note to go and check out their channel. I do watch, in terms of Australian flower farmers, Noble Flowers is a channel that I watch all the time. I was actually just catching up on their recent video. They have an amazing YouTube channel, and I really relate to Phaedra and Moranai because they are so down to earth as well. And I just appreciate that. I appreciate people being transparent in their wins and fails. Not that they're failing, they're doing an amazing job at flower farming. But yeah, I would definitely recommend to check out Noble Flowers if you're interested in another Australian channel. Awesome. Thanks, Kathy, for sending the link. I'll definitely check them out. Yeah, I've also found, I think her name's Tina from Woodstock Flower Farm. She has a flower farm kind of just south of us around Milton. And she started doing some videos on her flower farm, and I would really love to go and visit her flower farm. I'm also sorry if the neighbour's dog is picking up on this at all. Can't help the dogs barking, as you all know. Amaranth is another fabulous flower. I agree. Red stalk is nice and dramatic. I will be growing some amaranth as well as celosia. I never know how to say it, but I will be trying to grow that and planting that more towards coming into spring. I would otherwise be able to really plant these things a little bit closer or a little bit, further. What am I trying to say? Throughout the year, a little bit more in the subtropics, but here we, actually have proper seasons here. So I'm going to have to watch out for when I plant certain seeds. Cool. Thanks, Kathy, for adding the link for Noble Flowers. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to sowing some amaranth. I think I have a few ordered, actually. I think I have some here. I'm going to be growing more of like an orange variety, and then I do have a little bit more of the traditional red one, and some that kind of flop over a little bit. They're a little bit, I don't know, a bit more wispy. I can't remember the names of it because I've ordered so many different types of seeds that I need to calm down on the seeds. That's another thing. I'm just trying to hold back a little bit because I could try all these things, but realistically, I just don't have the space. I mean, I do have a lot of space, but I don't have the space prepped to be growing everything that I want to be growing. And it's unrealistic and impossible to go from nothing right now to farms like Noble Flowers and You Can't Eat the Grass, in a few months. It's just impossible, particularly because I'm not going to be working on this full time. See, what else have I done in the garden? We also put together like a little polytunnel that I'll share in another video. Scott helped. We don't have much indoor space to start seeds, which I realized pretty quickly that was a problem. So we just put together like a little makeshift polytunnel in the backyard that we cover every night to be able to protect our seed trays and our seedlings, and that's been working really well. And I got the idea from Noble Flowers, which was, they've got some really great ideas about how to kickstart your flower farming journey. Hello to Diane and Samson. Yay, it's lovely to have you here. I hope you are doing well and that it's nice weather down where you are. It's definitely still sunny and a little bit cloudy here, but still really nice. Yeah, thank you for the congrats on 5,000. Yeah, I'm still a little bit in awe about how many people have joined the channel and are watching the videos. And it just makes me so excited to keep making videos and talking about gardening and connecting to nature. And now our journey with flower farming. I'm so excited that people are liking the videos and subscribing, and I never really thought it would grow this big and quickly. But yeah, I'm super keen. You just bought some seeds for an orange variety of amaranth. You're in denial about the space you don't have. Yeah, me too. I need to calm down on the seed buying. Amaranth can grow quite big as well, depending on the variety that you get. So spacing is key, I think, for spacing amaranth, because it really does need a little bit of space to be able to bunch out and grow pretty well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying amaranth for the second time. I did try and grow it, but it was in the wrong time of year in the subtropics. So I'll try again down here and see what happens. I'd also love to know if anyone in the chat here, or if you're watching the replay, if you have any experience growing sunflowers, because in my area, the cockatoos and the different parrots around, they just like annihilate sunflowers. So I'd really love to know, and whether or not you think that sunflowers are desired by people buying flowers, because I know in the US they're really popular, but I'm not too sure if people are actually going to buy sunflowers around here. And I would really love to grow some, but I'm going to have to think of ways to protect them from all of the corellas and cockatoos that we have around here. Yeah. Okay, I'm just catching up on comments again. Yeah, amaranth, I think it's a little bit picky. One thing I think we might have a problem with is the fact that our soil isn't too free draining and well draining. I'm going to have to figure out pretty quickly what can grow with a little bit more clay soils. Yeah, sunflowers are one of my favorites to grow as well, Josh. I just wish that the birds wouldn't eat them all. Because yeah, Kathy, you've got the same problem. I know you can pick them a little bit earlier. Like you generally don't pick the sunflowers when they're fully open to then add to bouquets, because they'll naturally open up a little bit. But yeah, I'll have to figure something out. Tinfoil strips helped last year. That's a good idea. I could actually try some of that, because I've seen them like on the neighbors' plants, just hanging off the sunflowers, swaying in the wind, being naughty, and just snipping off all of the sunflower heads, which is not fun. I'm trying to think of other channels that are Australian that are flower farmers that I've been watching. It's not a YouTube channel, but in terms of podcasts, I've been loving Dish the Dirt. They, I can't remember the name of the lady who runs it, but they do interviews of flower farming and flower farmers all over Australia. And that's been really insightful to know what grows well and what customers like in Australia in terms of flowers. But yeah, there's a lot of US channels and English channels as well that I've been following, and a few channels in Europe too that I will, on tomorrow's video, I'll have them all linked there, because I can't remember them off the top of my head at the moment. Yeah, you just pick them when they're starting to crack open. Oh, now that I remember, Flower Folk Farm, Anita, obviously. Go follow Flower Folk Farm if you're interested in flowers in Victoria. She's got an amazing channel, and she also has some really good information about just growing food in general. I know she's really interested in being self-sufficient in growing food, but also her flower farm is so gorgeous, and she makes just the most stunning little bouquets and flower arrangements. I really love her channel. So go follow Flower Folk Farm. Diana and Sampson say, here in the valley, sunflowers have worked really well. You're looking forward to planting some on your driveway. Yes, please, if you have any extra, I will gladly take them. Yeah, I think this is going to also be key, is working with people around me to figure out if I need more flowers or if I need more foliage. I do work with Whitbird Environmental, and that's another channel you should go follow, both here and on Instagram. And I'm hoping that we can kind of partner up in terms of, they do a lot of regen work and cutting down, maintaining people's gardens and things like that. And I'm hoping I could maybe get some foliage from Jeff. We'll see about that. Oh, I'm so behind on comments now. Yeah, Anita has such a good channel. Definitely go follow Anita. Yeah, I saw there was a notification that came up that Anita was in a live panel, but I was a little bit busy with the cats, taking them outside. But I didn't manage to jump on. But I am just so excited to also keep building this community here on YouTube. And I talk about tomorrow, community is just such an important thing to me. I also think being transparent is really important, and starting things like, a backyard business, if you've got just a little tiny idea, or even if you just want to start, selling extra seeds or selling things on Etsy or whatever you want to do, providing a little bit more support and encouragement on YouTube. I would love to see more of that from Australia, because I think there's just not a lot of Australian YouTubers, or because we're such a big country, it's hard to relate to, people with the same kind of climate. So I think a lot of us tend to watch the bigger US channels or channels overseas. And I really want to keep building this community here on YouTube. And all of these lovely people are in the comments right now. Definitely make sure to go and follow all of them, because this is what we need more of, is really amazing Australian YouTube channels, so that we can all be inspired a little bit more. Cool. Thank you so much, Liz, for joining. I'm also going to wrap this up in a little bit, because it's getting darker. It's like not even 4 o'clock and it's getting dark here. It's crazy. And I have things to do outside this afternoon. Yeah, I agree, Diane and Samson. The Aussie community is great, especially in winter when so little is growing, and we can all just reassure one another that things will grow again soon. Exactly. It is perfectly normal to have an up and down season in the garden. And I think it's also, garden envy is really big here, because this time of the year we're seeing all of these amazing videos coming from like Roots and Refuge, You Can't Eat the Grass, and all of those other bigger channels from Canada and the US of all of the beautiful produce and flowers that they're growing. And garden envy is super real, because we're in winter here and we don't have much to show. But even if you're growing just like a little plant or microgreens or something like that, there's always something to be proud of in the garden. And filming videos and documenting the progress of think what your garden looked like a year ago in winter versus what it looks like now is something that I've actually been doing, going back and having a look from just even a few months ago, what the garden looks like. Totally different, and reminds me again that I'm just being a bit silly. I'm putting too much expectation and too much pressure on myself to have an amazing flourishing garden at all times of the year, when realistically that's not going to happen. Got a cat crying, so I think he needs a little bit of attention. You want to say hi to everyone? This is our cat Rocky, and he loves to just meow his little head off. So, when he does that, he usually just needs attention, and then he'll go off on his way. So say hi. Oh, I'm saving you from hanging out the washing. Oh, I didn't do my washing today. I probably should have. I'll do that tomorrow. Exactly. Although it's probably going to be raining tomorrow. Yeah, you're in the US watching Aussie channels and your winter is great too. Yeah, exactly. Remembering it'll be okay and looking forward to what is going to come is super important, because I know we can all get a little bit down in winter. But keeping busy, planning, looking at photos, getting inspiration, now's the time to do it. So it's what we should all be doing. So Kathy, you're looking forward to have better internet so you can show more. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what you're going to do with your place and what you're going to be planting. I feel like so many of us here on YouTube, like, Josh and Kathy and Diane and Samson and other people that are joining, we have all come so far from when we started, because I remember following you all, from when we all had like 50 subscribers kind of thing. So I just, want to remind us all, like, we have come so far in terms of our journeys here on YouTube and our gardens as well. We've all been through like, different places, different gardens, different experiences. So yeah, we've all done really well. Your cat is bigger. Yeah, Rocky's pretty small. I don't want to move the camera because I've got another cat here, but if I move the camera, I don't know. No, I don't want to move it because then anyway, Annie's just down there. I don't want to move it too much. She's, passed out asleep. Got cats all around us. Okay, I'll answer a few more and then I'll wrap this up. What's the flower you're most excited to grow? Question of the year. I don't even know, to be honest. I am super excited to try to grow dahlias, because there's so many different types that you can grow in so many different varieties and colors. So I'm going to be putting in an order soon when they're kind of, all available. I'm most excited to see what they grow. To see what they look like, sorry. And I'm also super excited to grow sea holly, which is going to be more of like a filler flower. It's really spiky and blue, gray kind of tones. And I think it's going to look really pretty in bouquets and have that little bit of a different touch that I am looking out for. You think garden planning content is interesting too, even reflection, plant variety reviews. Yeah, I agree. And that's something I can definitely do a little bit more videos on, because again, I don't want my videos just to be like, hey, look my garden, this is what's happening. Like I want a little bit more of a background on how I got to that, my decisions, the failures, because failure is very, very normal in gardening. The amount of plants I have killed is super, super ridiculous. And I think everyone needs to remember that you need to be able to kill flowers and grow them. It's totally normal. They're your weakness, Kathy. Yeah, dahlias are so beautiful. It's not helping watching all the people from the US right now and all the varieties that they have planted. Garden Answer is not helping me with my decisions on what to plant. Hey, Carly, nice to see you. I know you're kind of in the similar area to me, so it's nice to see you here. I am talking about starting a flower farm on the property in the backyard. So maybe we can share some flowers at some point. That'd be cool. You first saw the nature patch on an interview with Marty's garden. Yes, I remember doing that. That was really fun to collaborate with Marty and have a chat. He gave some really great questions that I was super happy to talk about. Will you have themes in your beds, all the red together or a combo? Will you have rows of one of a kind? Yeah, so I'm going to be mixing up. I'm going to have a little bit more smaller rows, because this year is going to be a trial year. So my rows are going to be a little bit smaller, and they're probably going to be like a few meters by, like max about 2 meters by 1 or so meter. I can't remember the exact size of grids of flowers that I'm going to grow. I do want to abide by a lot of the permaculture principles in this garden in terms of, I also am doing this no dig and regenerative farming. I'm really excited to keep going with that in the garden. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit different to how I have grown in the past, because I am going to be doing more rows of one variety at a time. So it's going to be different for me because it's not really how I like to garden, but I am going to be incorporating things like a lot of beneficial plants within the rows, and maybe adding a few little pot plants of herbs around to confuse bugs and to see what grows best together. Yeah, if you never fail in your garden, are you really gardening? That's very true. It's very true. I need to do like a whole video on failure in the garden, because we all get so down, and it's sad to see, because everyone has failure in the garden. Yeah, it's really, really important to remember that. We're now kind of at the hour mark, and I didn't even think I was going to chat for this long. So I'm going to probably wrap it up here, or in a little bit, unless you have any extra questions. There is a little bit of lag on this stream, so I've just got to keep that in mind. But yeah, I think I might wrap it up here. Look out for tomorrow's video. I think I'll upload it in the morning. Cats going everywhere. Come here. You want to say bye, Rocky? Oh, it's different. Okay. Yeah, look out for Flower Farm Fridays, which, yeah, the first video of that is kind of hilarious that I filmed. Yeah, because I think those videos are going to be really fun and interesting. So look out for those. And I completely forgot one last thing. I also have started another Instagram page called The Patch in Bloom, is what the flower farm is going to be called. I can't believe I didn't even talk about that. And maybe I'll just write in a comment here the Instagram handle if you would like to go follow over on Instagram. I haven't posted too much over there, but I'm going to be sharing a little bit more content over there, like daily update kind of things. And that's because I want it to be a little bit more local, rather than the nature patch. I've decided on the patch in bloom, kind of fitting in with the nature patch, but it sums up exactly what this is. It's, you know, the garden patch turning into the flower patch, and it's going to be in bloom. So yeah, that's what I've decided on naming the flower farm. And I'm keen to start doing a bit of marketing for the Jervis Bay region. So if you're ever in the region and you want some flowers, let me know, and I would be more than happy to be able to share a few. Yeah, so I really hope you are all having a lovely afternoon, and you're all going to hopefully have a really great rest of your weekend. I'm seeing a few more comments come through. Going to Instagram now. Cool. I'll be happy to see you over there. I just posted my first photo today on there, and Instagram, I really need to get better at using it. So, yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Carly, for watching some of my videos. There are so many different ones on the channel now, and a lot of like different recipes seem to do quite well if you're interested in those. But my favorite videos to watch and watch back for myself of my own and other people's are just like regular garden with me's. They're also the most fun for me to film, and I enjoy those of watching everyone else film those types of videos as well. Cool. Awesome. I can see now people starting to follow the page. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in on this video. Let me know on Instagram if you want me to do any more lives, or just comment on the YouTube videos, and I can definitely do a live, maybe like a live catch up on what's happening with the flower farm. Would be really, really cool. So thank you so much for joining in on this video, and thank you so much for watching if you made it this far with the replay. Good on you, and I will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's Sunday video, and maybe again on the live in maybe a few weeks or so. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.